Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a get ready with me, something kind of quick and easy, maybe a little bit more complex than what you're used to. Definitely not complex, is the true definition of the word, because I don't do a whole lot of complex. It's just a little bit more lengthy in that there's a little bit of a cut crease. I've got some glitter going on. I wanted to try something different in using the new Sol and Mar eyeshadow palettes by Colourpop, and so if you have not already watched that review, then go ahead and head over back to my channel. I do have a dazzled or disappointed for you guys on those palettes, but super summery look. Those palettes are all about summer. And yeah, this is what we've got going on today. So stay tuned if you want to see how we got this look so that we can get ready together. And I hope you enjoy. All right, guys, I start every makeup day with a cup of coffee. I can't be without it. So we're going to start off today with our Silk Canvas Primer by Tatcha. A little bit of this stuff goes such a long way, so if you are looking in to start using this, you just need a little bit, even less than what I just showed you. Just going to dab it between my fingers, dot it on my face, and just press that, spread that into my skin. Next, I'm going to go in with one of my favorites, the Huda foundation, the Faux Filter foundation. I am in the shade 300N Latte. I am mixing it in with the Cover FX, I think it's the Sunlight drops. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're basically the metallic highlighting drops. So just mix that in just to give my foundation a little bit more of a glow. This does have shimmer particles, so it ends up making my foundation a little bit shimmery, and I am okay with that. Gonna go in with my Beauty Sponge by Morphe and my Wander Glow Getter Mist. I typically spray 2 to 3 sprays onto my sponge to give it kind of just a perfect glow, just enough saturation to give me the good glow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press this into the skin. And now going in with concealer, my favorite of all time, the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I am in the shade, it's the light medium neutral, I can't even remember, maybe it's called Natural Beige. I am also putting it on my eyelids because it is what I will use as my eyeshadow primer, and I'm just going to work that in as well. Moving on, I'm going to do brows off camera as usual, and then I'm going to go in with my Clarins Instant Lip Comfort Oil. This, you already know, it's a staple, has been video in and video out. It's been my routine for 2 to 3 years now. Alright guys, the stars of this show, the Colourpop Sol and Mar eyeshadow palettes. Obviously Sol being the reddish orangey tone palette and Mar being the ocean type blues theme going on. Both beautiful in their own right. I just have been so impressed with these palettes, and have a review if you're interested. Just check that out on my channel. I'm going to go in with a blending brush, and I am first taking the palette Sol, but obviously I hadn't thought this look out yet, so I didn't know what I was going to do, so I am obviously really trying to decide. Alright, now that we've decided, we're going to go in with the shade 000, which I'm going to assume stands for Out of Office. And we're just going to use that as our crease color. A little bit bright, but it's going to do the trick. It's what I was wanting in my crease. I did blend it in. I went in and packed on color a couple of times so that I could build that intensity up. This is a tapered Sephora brush. It's one that was on Weekly Wow. I want to say it's the number 41, but it is for when you want super precise application. So as you're going to see here in a second, it doesn't really work for me, but I am going to go in with the matte palette with the shade Top Down. I'm going to grab that on that brush, but as I mentioned, you're going to be able to see that this brush it didn't work for this particular purpose. It's an amazing brush, just not for what I needed it for at this moment. So now I'm just taking a regular MAC blending brush and blending this into the crease to deepen it up. And again, just as with the last shade, I did build this up a couple of times just until I achieved my desired intensity. You'll do the same. Whatever kind of intensity you want, that's what you'll build it up to. Now I'm going to take my brush and my Tarte Shape Tape. Yes, I was like, oh, I got ahead of myself. Taking my Shape Tape, I'm cutting that crease just to kind of clean it up a little bit so that it doesn't look so messy. Okay, next I'm going to go in with that same shade as before called Top Down. I'm just taking it on a different little blending brush, and I'm going to deepen up the outer portion of the lid. I'm going to smoke it out a little bit over there. Taking that same shade again, we're going to go ahead and work the lower lash line. Now this is that same Sephora kind of defining brush, and I found that it worked pretty good to apply this shade on the lower lash line. Decisions, just like before. With so many beautiful shades, it really is hard to choose what you want to do, but I finally chose Gridlock. That is the stunner of a shade in the matte palette. It's absolutely beautiful. Sometimes I watch these as I'm doing the voiceover and I'm like, my expressions and my excitement make me laugh as I'm doing this voiceover. But just pack that on the lid. The brush applies just as well as using your finger, so you can use a brush and get just incredible intensity. I did go in a couple of times just because I typically do that, but one layer is even amazing. Going back in with the shade Top Down, I'm going to smoke that out a little more. If you were wondering what I keep looking back to, the TV's on, so probably watching the OC or something like that. Alright guys, it is time for, I think it's Midnight Cowboy. This is the glitter liner by Urban Decay. I'm taking an angled brush. Now this is the first time I'd ever done this before, so grabbing some of the glitter off the wand and onto my brush. I was a little bit nervous because, oh, you can tell, because I just didn't, you know, when you have to draw like a pretty straight line, it's kind of like wing liner. I worry that I'm going to have kind of a not so much of a steady hand and make a mess, but it ended up turning out really, really good. So I'm going back in with that Top Down shade with more of like a, just kind of like a flat, not a pencil brush, but one of those flat square brushes to apply a little bit more pigment down at the bottom. And now I'm going to go in with the inner corner shade from the Sol palette, and it is going to be called it's called New Digs, and it is kind of a sort of like a duochrome shift type of shade, and it's got kind of like a pinky peach type of tone. It's really pretty. I'm going to take my Essence 16-Hour Extreme Lasting Black Liner, and I am going to tight line, and I'm going to go in on my waterline as well. I have to get really close to the mirror, as you can tell, or I will end up accidentally getting some on my contact lens, and that is so annoying. So I apologize that you don't have the best angle of me doing this, but that's just how I had to do it. Next, going in with my Too Faced mascara. And I've gotten to where I'm actually really liking this mascara. I didn't like it so much before, but it hasn't really flaked into my contacts as much as it used to, so I'm good with it. Next, going in with a cream highlight base. It's Colourpop's Lunch Money, and this is the most recent addition to my Super Shock highlighters. I do have Flexitarian and love it. I'm actually liking this one very much as well. I go in with a cream highlighter base because it makes my powder highlight just pop. So I always go in with a cream, at least most of the time. Going in with a little bit on my nose as well. And we're going to go in with MAC's. It's Riri Loves MAC, and it is in the shade Bad Girl Gone Good. And it's kind of just like a nude type shade, really neutral, but I figured the eyes were so intense and the focus was on the eyes, we needed to go neutral on the cheeks. Next, going in with the Glam Glow, what is this called? The Glow Powder palette. And I'm first going in with my makeup sponge, and I'm going to go in with Nude Glow. I have found that going in with the beauty sponge first kind of helps buff the powder into the skin to where it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of my skin. And then I go in with my Anastasia A23, which is my favorite highlighting brush of all time, again with that same Nude Glow, and I layer that on top, and that just kind of adds the last punch. Going in with the darker shade called Sun Glow. I can't use this as a highlight, it's a little too dark, but I can use this as, I don't even know what caught my attention there, but I like to put this on my forehead to kind of help bronze it up a little bit, and it gives me more of like a good bronzed look. Now I'm going in with the Huda lip, or like the liquid lipstick, and then the strobe. The lipstick is in the shade Bombshell, and then the strobe over top is in the shade Ritzy. Now I don't typically do the topper on top of the lipstick, I just don't like how it ends up feeling, but for the sake of this very summery look, I figured it would be appropriate. And this is the final look. Super summery, just these palettes are ideal, and then using glitter as kind of like the little cut crease, I really, really liked it. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of another Get Ready With Me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it easy, pretty easy to follow, something that you can implement into your own makeup routine. Thank you guys so much for getting ready with me. I really do appreciate it. Before I let you go, I need to give you the verse of the day. Today's comes from 1 Peter 5:7, and it says, "Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." Okay guys, hope you're enjoying summer. It is super, super hot, but I hope you're still enjoying it, finding time to get to the pool, to the lake, whatever the case may be, spending time with family. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I really do appreciate you. Take care. See you soon. Bye.